Hey, it's Oska from the Frontrunner Colombo.
And Tom from the Frontrunner Colombo.
And Anna from the Frontrunner Colombo.
And Kat, who's an unemployed freeloader for the next couple of days. So can't wait.
I think you signed a contract already.
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
Oh. Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
on the to-do. That's on the to-do list.
But I had to make you one.
Yeah, you made me one, but I didn't sign it.
Oh, what a bitch.
Oh, did I sign
I
it?
think you signed. I think you had to sign it. But I had to make you a
It's
new
lost.
It's lost. I need a new copy.
one. That seems like the document that you shouldn't be losing.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, there's four of us.
Yay.
Yay. I was going to make a foursome joke, but I won't. But now I did.
Yeah.
Lol. You're listening to Run Special, our weekly running specialty podcast where we talk about foursomes and stuff. Not forceps.
4 sets.
4 sets of. Tommy did 4 sets of something in the pool this morning.
300s.
You missed us, Kat.
Yeah.
Kat, you missed it. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll notice that this is not our normal set. Speaking of sets,
Yeah.
4 sets. Studio. We have a studio which is actually like a closet. So every time we walk out of here, we're walking out of the closet, which is the joke for coming out of the closet. So.
So want to coming out of the closet. On a
Is
weekend.
this something you want to tell us?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Oscar's up at 5 a.m.
I was up at 5 a.m. this morning with my son because he decided 5 a.m. was a really good time to wake up, which I later learned was 22:05, and my wife let me have 20 more minutes sleep, grace period,
Wow.
before she decided that I should be awake at 5 a.m., which is fine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Your
I'm
coffee's
okay.
all the way over there, though. So.
It is, and I'm wondering, is it kosher? Did I finish it? I don't remember. Do you know things you don't remember? Do you ever forget if you've locked the door to a public bathroom?
What?
To a
Public
public
bathroom?
You know when you like go into the bathroom
Oh,
and then you
I
like
see what you mean.
do it, or you
yeah.
do it on autopilot,
Yeah.
and then you're like you look and you're like sitting on the toilet. You're like, shit, did I
Is
lock
that-
it?
But
that
like the worst thing is if you go to check and it unlocks the door. You know what I mean?
Oh, you like pull the handle down.
Yeah, and it unlocks it. Yeah.
Or the ones with the sliding doors, like the disabled ones with the sliding doors, and you got to push the red thing down, and you can't quite get the thing in, the door in, and then you're like,
Stupid designs, though.
I'm
aren't
looking
they?
like it. Wait, this is not a joke. How is someone in a wheelchair going to do that? Because they're tall. Anyway, someone could educate me. Not a joke. Genuine inquiry. We should talk to Mr. Luxon. Speaking of Mr. Luxon, I listened to his podcast with Dom. It's quite good, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. And Anna thought she was going to be the autistic one today. If you haven't listened to us before, welcome to the inside of 4 people's brains and minds as we take you through our week of life and training.
Bunch of gibberish, really.
Gibberish.
For people who don't probably have normal brains.
No. And because all 4 of us are here, we have a public apology to make. We have a public apology to make. Well, 3 of us have a public apology to make to Tom.
I'm not part of this. Oh,
Well,
no, I actually am part of this.
So we have a
Oh,
so we have a public apology. We have a public apology to make to Tom because, I mean,
We're a bit harsh on the
we're
guy.
maybe a little bit harsh, but also
I mean, I don't mind.
Tom likes it harsh.
Someone just found it offensive, so.
Well, I don't know if they found it offensive. It could
I
be.
think,
I
I
felt
think it
sorry
was a
for
joke.
you.
I think it was a joking tone, but I don't know.
It could be the most elite email I've ever received.
It's pretty good.
And we get comments like on Instagram and Facebook and Spotify and YouTube and stuff.
Shout out to the guy who asked us if it was a good running podcast.
Yeah, someone else, and he's like, I don't like shoes. But then,
And then he was telling us to stop Crocs.
yeah, but then I
Yeah.
wonder if that was just Dryden being a Dryden, because it was so Dryden-esque.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we pick on Tom mostly because we like it, and secondly because he can handle it. And so, and so I'm going to read this email.
2 extremely valid reasons.
I'm going to read this email because I like the sound of my own voice, and I'm not going to say who the person was because the email address and how they've signed off is not the same. So they're going to be anonymous.
Let's come up with
Anonymous.
we'll come up with a pseudonym.
A synonym?
A pseudonym.
A pseudonym?
A pseudonym. Jeff.
Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Fuck you, Jeff.
They're gonna know who we're talking about
I know,
when you read out the
That's what's
email.
funny.
No, but I think that's also a joke.
It's a joke, and I'm also joking, but only slightly. So the email is what do you call it? Titled "Be kind to each other," and it says, "Long time lurker, came for the shoe chat, stayed for the shithousery." That's a compliment. I came into the store last week while visiting Christchurch. I love the pod, so I wanted to support it. Picked up some Say Sky shorts and a Sally hat.
Shout out Say Sky.
Shout out Say Sky. I was actually the elite shorts. I was only in the store for about 15 minutes, but it was just like being in the pod in that short time. I heard people giving Tom grief about his girlfriend or lack thereof. I'm currently going through an injury cycle myself and just wanted to say, please give Tom a break.
Is this a cry for help, Jeff?
Who has suffered more for our sins, Jesus or Tom?
That was good.
No need to reply. I only listen on the elliptical and the wind trainer. Soon I'll be injury free and never listen again. So, shout out to Jeff.
Yep.
Because
Joke's
Jeff,
on you. I actually wrote that email.
This was Tom's cry for help.
honestly, the grammar's too correct for you to have written it.
He got
Grammarly, mate.
he hooked up his friend chat.
Yeah, or Maya's been helping. Maya's been helping.
Grammarly's been helping me.
Yeah, no, Grammar's good. So anyway, thank you for the lovely fan mail.
But we won't be changing anything.
But
Heard it here first.
when Tom does finally get married, well, it's going to be a live podcast episode.
A live podcast.
I'm going to have the road mics.
Couldn't think of anything worse.
It's like, how do you feel about marrying Tom? Anyway.
And she's like, now?
No, Tom will just go off and just never come back, and then we'll hear from him in like 15 years, and he'll be like, I have a wife and a family.
Yeah.
Because he just
We'll see it on
Don't tell us.
Instagram. Or straight post it on Strava, perhaps.
I don't post much on it, any socials, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, do you think Instagram will still be a thing in 15 years?
Well, Facebook has
Yeah.
somehow rode the wave.
But has it?
I would say so.
Yeah. I always watch random videos on Facebook.
Cool.
And I love the neighbourhood group drama.
That is the most Anna thing ever.
Neighbourhood group drama.
Are you the
What
person that does
what do you
that
mean?
snap, send, and save council thing?
No, I've
What is
never
it?
done that.
Snap,
Snap, send,
that?
solve.
snap, send, solve.
No, I haven't done that. No, it's just funny because people will be like, people post pictures of like dog poop and be like, who didn't pick this up? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Can we start like the Triple S soldiers, community soldiers? And you just got to go around with your phone and just take pictures of stuff that's annoying you, like drips from buildings and stuff.
I don't know.
I don't
Seniors.
think, I
The
don't
senior
think we've got
soldiers.
enough time for that.
For send, say it again. I don't remember. I forgot already.
Snap, send, solve.
Yeah, you could have 5 S's. Senior citizens or senior. No, that's a C.
That's
Senior soldiers, and then what you said.
snap, send, solve.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh gosh.
That's 5
Mouthful.
S's. It's a lot of
Too
S's.
many words.
Too many words.
Not the strongest.
Anyway, thank you for spending the last 8 minutes listening or not using the 15-second fast forward thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I made that motion at the camera like everyone's watching, but they're not. They're probably just listening. Kat's back. Hi, Kat.
Hi. I've had some messages. When are you back on the podcast?
She's
Well,
returned.
now I am.
She has returned.
For 1 week.
Return of the Jedi?
Well, 2 weeks actually. Aren't you guys doing it next week?
Oh, we might do
Wow.
No.
Then I think we decided trying to transport everything around would be really hard.
a bit risky.
Risque. But not risque in terms of wearing a skirt that's too short. Just
Probably.
risky in terms of losing a whole bunch of gear.
And also, it's
breaking
actually really
something.
heavy.
Yeah. That's fair.
Isn't
Okay,
it?
so you get me for 1 week.
Yeah.
But you ran a marathon.
I did.
How was that?
Oh my god,
honestly,
did you? No.
can you tell?
Yeah.
And
Mixed
I
up.
actually brought my medal with me.
Let's see
I'm
it.
a
Let's see it.
loser. Do you actually want to?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
in the bag.
Wait, yeah, we want to see
Yeah,
it.
get it.
Get it. Just don't.
It's pretty hefty. You could really.
Is it
Could
cooler than
you
the
kill a
Christchurch
bitch?
Marathon medals?
Whoa.
Christchurch Marathon medals are pretty elite. Oh, okay. No, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really sorry if it smells like vomit, but you know, we'll get to that part of the story later.
It's huge.
I
Yeah.
mean, my nostrils are waiting in anticipation.
Yeah.
Ooh, so fancy.
Is it was the medal that you got as a faster
Finisher.
runner? Is it different?
No, they're all
No.
the same.
Oh, there was.
Yeah,
Oh, they are cool.
That's just the finisher's medal.
So for
Great.
anyone
Is it
not
solid
watching,
gold?
Yeah, it's 100% gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
We finished together. Well, no, you didn't, because there was about 45,000 people
56,000.
56,000.
We made the Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
and I want my certificate.
Oh, it's got the sign language stuff on
That
there too.
could-
That's cool.
That's Braille.
That could also be a channel on Pornhub,
That's nice.
couldn't it? We finished together.
What?
Could be a channel on Pornhub.
Because that never happens. Only Oska got that.
That got me. That got me really good. This is pretty elite. So for anyone who's not watching on YouTube or a Spotify video, Kat has handed her medals around. So tell us about your trip. Start from scratch, mate.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start from like the whole build up because
Oh, that was a long
it,
build up.
it's day one. Let's go.
What was it like?
It basically
So
started
when were you born?
It all started in 1992.
When a mummy and a daddy. Anyway, carry on.
I kind of started my build up after Auckland, so like November last year.
Putting in work.
And yeah, but it was so gradual. Like every week I was just slowly building and building, just increasing the long runs, increasing the sessions, and just getting through one day at a time, really. And eventually I was just seeing improvements, and I don't know, like everything in that build up honestly went awesome. I couldn't have wished for a better build up, especially to a marathon. So, and all I wanted to do was get to that start line with the confidence that the last few months had gone really, really well, and I could just be there and enjoy the race. And it did. So I was pretty stoked. But I will say, like, maranoia is so real.
I like that.
Paranoia.
Can we put that on?
Creating
Can we
words.
put that on a
Did
t-shirt?
you coin that or?
Yeah.
No, I've seen that somewhere.
Oh,
I don't know.
I've never heard that. Own it, yeah.
I'd own it. Yeah.
But from traveling over, I just wanted to avoid people at all costs because I did not want to ruin
sick
all
or
my.
anything.
Yeah, I didn't want to get sick, and luckily it didn't. I also, once I got over there, didn't want any niggles. But you start feeling stuff. You're like, oh God, what's that on my foot? Or like, oh, my throat's a bit scratchy. You're just like, ah, shit. But it's all in your head because you just don't want it to happen. So, but yeah, no, it was all good. So I got over there 3 weeks beforehand and went up to Glasgow where I was training with my friend who was also running. And we just kind of cruised the last 3 weeks together, easy sessions, and just wanted to get the legs feeling good. But yeah, made it to race day really unscathed and full of confidence, which was awesome.
That is unreal, and will probably never happen again.
I know. Like, I couldn't
So
believe how well it went.
We've got the blueprint now, so.
So obviously the start, like there's 50,000 odd people, right?
Yeah.
So how are you getting to your start line, and where do you start in correlation to the big dogs?
Okay, so London's interesting. They have 4 different colour waves and they all start on separate streets. So the biggest wave is the blue, and that's where the elites and majority of the masses, like the championship races and the majority of the masses start. And then there's the yellow, the green and the red. The red's the second biggest, and then the yellow and the green are the smallest. So I was really lucky that I was with the New Balance crew. So we had accommodation at the finish line, but they bussed us to our yellow start section in the morning.
That's
which
elite.
It took an hour and a half to get there. It was crazy.
Oh
there
my
was
God.
just so many buses and like people trying to get through and everything. But luckily, like we left with heaps of time. But yeah, like in the yellow section, it was pretty small, but then within the yellow, there was like the New Balance section there. So I was walking past lines and lines of people trying to get into the Portaloos, and I went into my like little elite section where I had bean bags and like breakfast set up and our own toilets and bag drop and things. So
That is luxury.
yeah, it was really nice. But yeah, so the idea with the 4 colour system was, I think the first 3 miles, so 5K, we're all on our separate roads, and then we meet up in one big road, which just helped to kind of spread it out and get people starting similar times as well. Because also we started 9:30. Well, I was 9:36, and it was already like 18 degrees or something.
Wow.
Yeah, but
So you sit on the bus for an hour and a half.
yep.
you know you're probably going to get there in time to start because all the buses are going in the same direction. How are you preparing, like sitting in that bus? Like obviously warm-up's probably a little bit different to if you were at home. Do you eat while you're on the bus? Like how's that working out?
So I had all my schedule kind of planned out where I wanted to eat. So start time was 9:36. I wanted to have breakfast at the hotel at 6, done by 6:30, and then catch the bus at 7. The bus, I had I had a carb drink I was just kind of sipping on that bus ride. I didn't know it was going to take that long. I kind of assumed half an hour. So it was longer than I thought, but I wasn't too concerned about that because I was just going to get to the other end and sit anyway. So that was fine. My warm-up, I don't know if you saw it on Strava, it was like 4 minutes at like 6-minute pace because we got into our little section and it was just so small and there were so many people and there was like a whirlpool of people that tried to do some like teeny tiny warm-up. I was like, I'm not doing that. I kind of just like jogged around a wee bit and then I was like, I got to do some leg swings and drills or whatever. And then I actually missed when they called wave 1 to start lining up. So I was like, shit, got to get to the get into my wave. But I ended up right at the back of wave 1. I was like, that's dumb because I really wanted to be somewhere near the start. So I kind of like weaved my way in and ended up maybe 50 meters back from the start line. I was like, that's fine. But yeah, like when we started, it probably took maybe a K like of me just weaving in and out of people because the people in front of me were they were pretty slow compared to what I wanted to do.
Yep.
It was, and our yellow section, our road was really narrow. Like the blue section, they had, I think, like 4 lanes or
I've
whatever.
got a question.
Yeah.
For the different waves, was it based on like do you have to apply with like what pace you think you're going to run?
Yeah, you kind of have a finishing time.
Yeah.
And then they'll just like place you wave 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people do you think were a bit like optimistic?
Yeah, well, wave 1 was anywhere from like 2:30 to like maybe 3:30. So
That's quite a bit. Yeah, quite a big range.
Yeah. And so my goal was like 2:45 or whatever. So yeah, it just meant that there was a big range of people in there. But once I had kind of weaved through and got into my groove, it was pretty good. And then
How long was it good until it wasn't?
like the entire race.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
No, I'm asking. That race was unbelievable. I can't even explain how good I felt for so long.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you think it was obviously the prep helps atmosphere?
Okay, so people told me how great the atmosphere was there, but you really have to experience it. I don't even know if there was a single point in that race where there wasn't somebody screaming at you.
That's crazy.
Like just constant noise. The atmosphere was insane.
That's interesting because that can also be overwhelming.
Yes.
Was there a point where you tried to shut some of that out to like, because it's a marathon, you're going to have bad patches.
Yep.
Yeah, well, how did that work? Like,
I guess like the busiest point. So people had told me about Tower Bridge, and 100% true. It's wild. I generally got goosebumps running over that bridge because there was just so many people, and that's where everyone wants to be, and it's just a cool spot. And I'd been told, like don't get too hyped up over the bridge because it's only at halfway, right? And you can kind of cook yourself if you do. I was just really aware of that and just trying to keep my own rhythm and focus on what I wanted to do. So, yeah, but it generally felt like the people were pushing you on, for sure. And even in those times where you're like, oh, shit, like I'm feeling pretty shit here. You had all this atmosphere around you. You kind of couldn't. You couldn't give up. So, yeah.
Back to the starting zone thing.
Yeah.
How there were like the 4. Did you notice a bottleneck when it all joined together, or had it kind of spread out enough that it was?
So when we joined, it was still split. So it turned in. It was like 2 lanes on one side, two lanes on the other, and there was a fence up the middle.
Okay.
And so we joined in, and then we're still kind of separate, but together for a little bit, and then eventually the fences were gone, and we all kind of merged in, and it was pretty smooth.
It was pretty smooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
some hardcore computer analytic programming has gone in to figure out
That exact
how
point.
long
Yeah.
it takes 50,000 people traveling at like an average of maybe like 10 kilometers an hour. Like if you took the average of all 50,000, how long it would take to then have enough space on a road that wide to all come together. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My brain appreciates that math.
Yeah, because once it turned into like 2 lanes, it was, pretty much people covering all sides, really.
And obviously when you race at home, we get on-course support. What was the fueling strategy, and did you have, fuel out on course for you?
Yep.
Or did you have to carry the majority yourself?
So I knew that I wasn't going to get like bottles. So I practiced my entire block. I was just practicing with gels and water. And like for me, I was just like, I'm going to take 1 gel before I start, like 10 minutes before start time. And then I was going to take one every 6K.
So about
25 minutes-ish,
Yeah,
25 minutes. And yeah, I was confident with it, but I was also still nervous because I do remember Auckland, like once you start not wanting the gels, it just goes horribly wrong. And I was like, I just really don't want that to happen. But I think because I was consistent with my practice leading into it, I had no problems at all. So I was just every 6K, down another one, easy as.
And did you have a wee thing set up on your watch to beep,
Yep,
or you just kind of remembered?
I had like a nutrition beep on my watch that was just like
Smart.
nutrition time. The only thing that was like different to what I didn't really practice was water, because I didn't anticipate it being that hot. But I was I was getting water at every water station there was. It was really handy. They had like little drink bottles. So I'd just grab one, take a few sips, and then like dump the rest over, and then get to the next station, do the same thing.
And how far apart were the drink stations?
They were every 3 miles for the first 2 or 3, and then they dropped down to every 2 miles for the
You were
remainder.
plenty. How much
Yeah.
water do you reckon you drank? Because like if the start temp is 18, I guess you'd come out of like training here and it was not dissimilar.
I think it really helped that I was
Yeah,
training through
now
the
that I'm
summer.
thinking about
It was
it.
pretty similar.
Did you ever feel like you were beginning to dehydrate? Or
I didn't actually. No.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How hot was it at the end?
It was over 20. It must have got to like 22 by the time I finished.
Yeah.
And there were people like staggering all over. I think from like maybe 22K, you started seeing people kind of drop off. And like, yeah.
so, what was the finish line like?
From what I can remember.
Oh, yeah, good.
Okay, so I knew that that Buckingham Palace was near the finish, and I just remember going down a long straight road, like the red road, and seeing Buckingham Palace. And I was like, there it is. I'm finishing. It's coming. And I like make this boost, and I pass these guys, and they're like, awesome finish, man. Good job. And then I get like, I don't know, a minute down the road, and I realize that there's like a turn and you have to come back on yourself, and there's a big sign that's like 375 yards or something. I was like, fuck it.
Did they come back
Yeah,
past
and
you?
then the guys come back past me. I was like, oh god. And then I was like, okay, just gotta get to this finish. And I was like, so I come round, and then the last little bit's like 200 meters. There's like a little stand where all, I don't know, the VIPs sit and watch you come in. And I was pretty close to blacking out because I had literally given everything in this race. And there's 2 little finishing chutes that you can go through. And I was aiming for the left, but somehow I found myself running to the right. And then I was like, no, I want to go to the left. So I was like, you can see it in the finishing video. I was just like,
Leaning your body.
back into the left.
We have a term for that. It's called penis legs.
Yeah. Okay.
You go lunch.
You got
There was
nothing.
no control.
No,
I
you're
was
done.
like, I just have
You're
to
done.
get over that freaking line. And I did. And yeah, I was pretty lightheaded 2 once they chucked my medal over, 2 guys come up and like
carried
me and like sat me on the side. They were asking me all these questions. Actually, the first question they asked me was, "Have you stopped your watch?" And I was like, "Yes."
That is elite medical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like asking me like my age and what time I ran and whatever. Then they're like, "We're gonna have to wheelchair you off." And I just remember being like, "No, I don't want to go to the wheelchair. I can walk." They're like, "No,
You're done."
Yeah. And so they wheelchaired me past all these people into the medical tent where they had to take like my blood pressure and lactic and stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then they lay me down and let me just rest for a bit. And once my blood pressure was all good, they like set me up and I was like, oh, fuck, here I go. I was like, I'm going to vomit. She's like, wait. So they got her little like cardboard things and I was like, honestly, like 2 litres of fluid that came out.
Oh, all those shells.
All over that medal.
And we just touched it.
Yeah. And then after that I was like, yeah, I feel pretty good now. Can I go? Like, take these jelly beans and yes.
Isn't it amazing how, so say there's 2 medical staff and you, and all 3 of you are in this one moment, seeing it through a completely different lens. So you're like high on life.
Yeah.
You finish this marathon, you're like, I'm going to walk the fuck out of here. And they're looking at you going, they ain't fucking nowhere.
No.
She's walking out of here.
And they're like, she needs help.
Yeah, she needs help. You're like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, nah.
Nah, man.
And then you go to the medical tent, and then it's like they're validated in the fact that you
Oh,
needed
yeah.
to be
Yeah.
you needed to be there.
I just remember being in the medical tent and I was just like drifting off. It was just like I wanted to go to sleep. I was so tired. So
And also amazing how amazing human bodies are, because you think if you vomit 90 seconds ago, you got 200 meters left to run,
yeah,
but it hangs on,
Yeah.
like mentally or whatever. There must be a scientific term for it.
just mentally, you're just
You
like,
just
I can't.
hang on, and then you cross the finish line, and you stop, and your body's like, "Thank God that
That's
crazy
it.
bitch stopped." I can excrete this extra liquid I don't need right now because my cells are shriveled up prunes.
Oh.
Like, and I can't absorb anything else.
You know, apparently your brain eats yourself in a marathon.
Does
Do you
get
know?
brain damage.
It does, because I read this study. That
On the
is-
plane.
this is terrifying.
Yeah.
But it has like reversible brain damage from endurance sports.
Irreversible.
No, it's
Reversible.
reversible.
Comes back. Okay.
Yeah.
But because who was I? I might have been having this conversation with Jamie. That's the other reason why the carbs are so important.
Yeah.
Because carbs rebuild or help to reverse the temporary brain damage because it swells
Yeah.
and
I guess it
then
makes sense. But
yeah.
So I was
That's
pretty
crazy.
dumb for the next 4 days.
yeah, it was the marathon. No.
We need to coin a term for marathon brain damage.
It's pretty wild though, isn't it?
Mirage.
Mirage, like a migraine, but mirage. Okay.
A mirage, that's where you imagine things.
Yep.
Have you
Imagine
seen the
all
video
the
of
people.
Taylor Reid like vomiting mid-race, like, and he just profusely vomits like 3 times as he's running and just can't stop. So it
Why
doesn't
didn't he
always.
stop?
Your
Why
body
didn't he
doesn't
stop
always.
Been there. Oh, yeah.
No, but is it because he's been like swimming in the River Nile and just ended up radioactive? Like, fucking.
No, he normally vomits after every race, but this race it was like 2K into the run, and he's just running over his shoulder, like vomiting, and then just keeps running the whole time.
Oh,
That's
man.
outrageous.
Battler.
I mean, I'm surprised that some of those triathletes in Paris didn't come out looking like the Hulk.
Oh no, a lot of them did.
Oh.
You just didn't see it until
They
the
just
next
stopped
day.
the lights. Cut the cameras.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Sorry.
sick people after that. That just didn't really get reported.
And then you had a holiday.
Yeah, amazing. Sat in a resort for the next 4 days.
Getting more dehydrated.
Yeah, getting a tan.
In the sun.
But yeah, no, I'm so stoked with how that race went, and I think I knew I could get to 30k with it being 3 days just because of the sessions I've been doing. It was just going to be that kind of last 12k, and that's basically what happened. Like I got through 30, maybe 32, and then I really had to like dig deep from there. But I thought, well, I can bloody do
You can run
that.
for half an hour.
Yeah,
Like, you just keep going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So just break down 1k at a time.
So we did have some questions. People for you.
What did you finish with?
That Kyle, I'm not asking those questions. Kyle Simpson, grow up. What was the eating like afterwards? How long did it take for your appetite to come back?
Shout out to Maya
Shout
Flint.
out to Maya.
I basically went home.
Motherfucker.
Okay, so our New Balance setup was real cool though.
Okay.
So,
Talk us through it.
The hotel had like a cafe at the bottom. We could basically just go eat whatever we wanted.
Oh,
So
flex.
yeah. So for me, it kind of just came back pretty quick. I just went and had like my sandwich and my drinks. Oh, I was thirsty as fuck. Like I drank so
That's
much
the most
fluid.
Kiwi line.
What
Had
did-
some semis. In
What
London,
what was
semis.
your drink of choice post marathon? Did you have electrolytes or did you go for like a
LMP?
ginger beer?
No,
or-
they had this like
Wine.
blue Lucozade at the end. It was so yum. Had that.
Like you said,
Was it like blue raspberry or something?
Blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, and then I went to the pub and had a beer and chips and so cider and burger and chips.
I rate that so highly.
it's so Kiwi. Eh?
It was a Witherspoon.
Did you have like luncheon and tomato sandwiches or something? Just to cap off the day?
Dude, that's a throwback. I used to have those.
You used to get the luncheon where they had the corn and the peas in
Yeah,
it?
the peas in
Yeah.
it. Eh?
I was never
Tough.
allowed luncheon.
I think we could only afford luncheon.
Yeah, I had no choice.
It was a treat when you got cheese as well. Tommy doesn't like cheese.
No.
How would you explain the experience compared to a New Zealand race?
Oh my god, it's completely different. It's unreal. Like, yeah, I mean, just being surrounded by so many people, and afterwards too.
Yeah.
Like the whole town, the whole city was there, and then you'd be walking through the tube, and people would just be clapping and cheering you on, and yeah, saying how
And you're
handsome you are.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because I have my medal on,
Yeah.
obviously. And they're like, oh.
Did you have that t-shirt on?
No, I think I still have my race stuff on the rest of the day.
Do you think that's a Kiwi problem, right? In terms of,
It's a population problem.
well, no, but like we don't. People aren't going to outwardly clap you on the bus on the
No.
way home from the city centre when you run a marathon.
No.
It's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, but I also think a lot of people know that that's like a major, and
Yeah.
like it's probably been advertised quite a lot over there, and
And the city's shut down. And
yeah. So
It's like a public holiday for them. Isn't
yeah,
it? like,
Well.
yeah.
or like the whole city's shut down. You can't do
Weekend,
much
but-
else.
Yeah.
What were 3 things you wish you did differently on the day? Is there any?
well,
Doesn't sound like
honestly, nah.
Yeah.
Because afterwards, I kind of reflected on it, and I
You're like,
It
I'm
just-
perfect. Everything's perfect.
Slay
did
queen.
so awesome.
yeah.
But yeah, like nutrition went really well. I think I paced it really well. Like the first 5K of that race is downhill, like pretty aggressively downhill.
Sign me up.
Yeah, like it was. You're just chilling.
Are you going to do it 2026, Oscar?
Do you know 1.1 million people signed up to do it?
Yeah. And the ballot.
In the
Yeah.
ballot,
Oh,
1.1 million.
It's not 1.2, so do better.
It went from like 80.
Average.
didn't it?
Average.
800,000 or
Well,
something.
how many people on the planet?
1.1.
10
7
billion?
billion.
7 billion?
8 billion. I think it's closer to 8 billion now.
So what's that like? Fucking still only like 0.07. Something like that.
Do better?
Fact check me.
It's like 20% of New Zealand's population-ish.
Yeah.
22.
It's like the whole of Auckland. Can you imagine the whole of Auckland getting up and trying to get on a ferry to Devonport?
Work.
It would just not
is that
work.
enough people to create a human bridge?
Oh my god.
Only Oscar would think of that.
How many? I need to do some math.
But no, I think I was happy with
Yeah,
how
man.
I think like beforehand, I remember ringing up Craig because I had a time in my mind that I wanted to do, and I was a little bit fixated on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Craig, like, is it best to start off at this pace and then just stay at that pace, or do I start off slower and work towards that pace? And he was like, who cares? Just run the race, have fun. Like, it doesn't matter. Go enjoy the atmosphere. And then something kind of switched to me. Then I was like, yeah, you're right. Who cares?
Do you feel like sometimes with a marathon it'll just come out in the wash?
Yeah.
Because it's so, like it's such a long.
Yep.
I'd agree. Sometimes if you're going with too
Like,
much intensity.
If you're capable of doing it, then your body will
You'll
let
do
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what else we got? Looks like a ton of people blew up in the heat. Was it bad or just soft Brits? Did you adjust for it?
It wasn't. For me, I didn't think it was that bad. We were actually in the shade for a lot of it because of the high-rise buildings, I felt. But I can see why the British people struggled in that because they just are not used to that kind of heat.
This was interesting. I just searched up the London Marathon data, and the Strava data showed that 50% of people that uploaded their London Marathon to Strava had a bonk in the second half of the race. Slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it's not higher.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, a marathon is just who regresses the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of. But
That's why most people bonk regardless of the heat.
yeah. 3 more questions. Anything out of the ordinary at the aid stations?
Nah, it was always just Lucozade, bottled water, and then they had ice. And they also had the showers every
That's nice.
3 miles or so. Yeah, which was good.
Is it weird that means you showered with 50,000 people?
Yeah.
Well, if you think
What an experience.
Yeah. I wonder if you collected all the sweat
Gross.
from
Already grossed out.
50,000 people and then poured it back over the course, if it would cover the entirety of the 42.2k.
Okay.
It probably would.
People are getting a really good idea of how all 4 of our brains work. Did your nutrition plan play out? Oh,
Yep.
and how? Yes, you pretty
Yep,
good. We can't
100%
answer that.
worked out. Couldn't have gone any better.
What was your unexpected, most memorable highlight?
Okay, so I kind of knew landmarks when we were running around, but when I was running, I had no idea where I was in London. I was just following the crowd and just in my groove, just doing my thing. And then all of a sudden, I made a right turn and there was Tower Bridge and all these people, and I was like, holy shit! Like, honestly, unreal. I mean, I did touch on it before that. It was just crazy. And running over it, goosebumps and just insane atmosphere. So that was definitely a highlight.
So does this mean that you're not going to be running in New Zealand anymore?
I don't see the point.
Yeah. Nothing's going to live
Nothing
up
can
to
top that. So, yeah.
Do you want to do all the majors
I
now?
do. 100% I do.
You
Yeah.
should do Sydney.
Yeah. I mean,
Any
I will
majors?
have to. if I
Yeah,
wanna do
yeah,
all of them.
definitely. Yeah, true.
I do hope that New York will be my next one, but we will see.
Having spent 4 days in New York, it's very smelly
Yeah, there's a lot of rats.
and just a lot of weed
Oh, yes.
and a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And actually just a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big city.
I saw something, I don't know, this just reminded me. This is really off topic. When I was running around Hickley Park the other day, I saw a guy, he was running, vape in hand, just
No way.
stopped, took a hit, kept running.
Oh, my God.
Bro.
I was like, it's cancelling out.
It's making it worthwhile.
Jeez.
I'm selling the shop.
I'm quitting.
I'm done.
One more K.
One more.
One puff, 1K.
I mean, I guess if it was an inhaler, prednisone or something. Is that what you call it? Steroid for lungs, prednisone? Well, nice, man. And then so you've had a bit of time off.
Yeah.
We've got a big week.
This week coming up is pretty big. I've had a few big weeks, just, organising stuff and travel and whatnot.
Life.
Yeah. So I really have just been easy jogging for the past month or so.
But you're not going to retire, right?
No.
You might have retired mentally a couple of times, but you'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I got to keep running.
Yeah, because I remember you said to me once before the race, you'd just done a really hard training session, and you're like, "Yeah, once I done this, I think I'm done." I think it was just a moment of weakness.
Dude, marathon walks is so fucking hard. That's a big commitment, but the payoff is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If it all goes well, which it did. If it didn't, I would have been pretty upset right now.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
It's almost like we need to make a comic book page with you walking through the over the Tower Bridge with you just walking back, just pulling the fingers, and then being "Got you, London," and then on the other page is "See you soon, New York."
Yeah, that's
and then walking the other way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that.
How would you have felt? You know how you were just saying that you had a time in your head if you didn't beat that time, but you still had a great experience?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't beat the time that I thought.
Oh.
I genuinely thought I could run 2:37-ish.
Right.
Yeah, and I ran 2:43. But
Because it was such a good experience. It's just like...
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think if it was maybe 10 degrees cooler, I possibly could have got closer to that because the heat does take it out of you. But I really couldn't be upset about that because of how well everything had gone and how good I felt in the race
And how you felt like you gave it everything.
and I
too.
gave it
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I really did. Like I have no regrets about that race. So yeah, if that's what it was, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
I think more
Leaves
people
you
need
hungry
to-
for more.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think more people need to have that mentality.
yeah.
So fixated on times and results. It's like, just enjoy it.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
have fun? Yeah.
Yeah. Blast.
Speaking of blasting,
Uh-oh.
Anna's going to have a blast this weekend at Selwyn.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
It's your race week. It'll be tune up this morning.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. I've got a bit to get done before then, so I haven't really thought about it too much.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't think
Yeah.
about it.
No, I think it is good because I've got a few. Because I've only got one lecture tomorrow, and then that's my last lecture of university done, which is crazy.
Are you going to celebrate next week at quiz night?
Well, we're going to be in Nelson.
Oh, we can
We'll
have
find
our
a
own.
quiz.
We can do a quiz.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And if not, I'm sure Indy will put a show on for us that is a quiz, so that's fine.
Yeah. Perfect. So no. Anyway, so I've got a few assignments and stuff to do. So that's kind of been where my brain power has been going, and I've just been ticking off the runs this week. So yeah, had a tune up this morning where I just did 10 minutes of tempo, and then just did a couple of fast efforts. And I've decided that I'm going to race in the Evo SLs because they just feel really nice, to be honest. It just felt really easy to run in them, but they felt fast, and I thought that's exactly what I want for the weekend. So yeah, and Andy and I had a chat on Monday and got a bit of a plan of if it's going well, what I'll kind of try to do.
Say it out loud.
I'm not going to.
Say it out loud.
I'm not going to.
She'll tell us if it goes well.
Yeah, if it goes
Next
well,
week.
you'll hear. Otherwise, you won't.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be a depressed mess in Nelson for the 4 or 5
Oh
days.
no.
No, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on it though,
Nah, fair.
because it is still it will be my first time running the distance, and yeah, I just want to try have fun. I'm a bit worried about throwing up because that's kind of been a thing for me, but Andy was just like, yeah, well, it may happen. You just got to laugh about it and move on.
Do you know too though, because of the half marathon effort isn't as intense as a 5k or a 10k.
Yeah.
You might find that because you've regulated the effort across
Yeah.
the hour and a half or whatever,
Yeah.
you won't reach that
Yeah.
point. Whereas, I mean, I can't remember a 5k where I've run hard where I haven't vomited afterwards.
But I do it during.
It's a horrible. Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
I
But
think it's just nerves. Yeah. But yeah, you're right about it being a bit of a more controlled effort, and it's been going well in training. Not.
Have you been trying what you're eating before?
Yeah.
Different to your previous races? Yeah.
Yeah.
try some stuff.
Just wake up earlier too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it through you. And that's also interesting about the Adidas Evo SL. Just
Yeah.
goes to show that you don't always need to have carbon or.
Yeah.
I mean, the foam is still TPE or whatever. It's still
Yeah.
still a.
Comfort's key, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I have a pair of the Endorphin Pros, which that's what I was thinking I would use, but my feet do kind of go a bit numb in them, and they would I'd done a session which was 14 Ks in them, and I my feet were so numb by the end of that. I
It's
was
not good.
I don't know if I can make it to the. Yeah, and then but then I did including my warm up and my main kind of efforts I did on Sunday. I wore the Evo SLs for the whole time and didn't feel any pain anywhere. So, yeah.
And then hot take on that is I got offered Evo SL with a TR bottom for next year. Maybe listeners, I've probably just signed my NDA away, but well, I think we might as well ask people, right? Because how did you find the grip on the wetter Hagley Park? You know, because this morning it was kind of leaves it down and can get a little slippy. How'd you find that?
I had no issues with it. Yeah.
If you put a few more overlays on the top and then put a little all-terrain outsole on the bottom, I think it would make a really good trail, like easy trail race day shoe. I don't know. Tom's just mulling it over.
Yeah. I don't know that we've had the Evo SL long enough to see how many people actually like it.
Do you know what we have had long enough? Your knee clap.
My neck. I forgot what that was. I don't know.
How was your knee?
Oh, it's all right.
I mean, your VMO is looking like I want to touch them, so they're hot-looking VMOs.
Popping.
They're popping
Been
like
doing a lot
polka
of
dotting.
strength work to try and minimise anything coming back. So we'll see how that works.
And you were going to do a couple of every other day 20-minute runs.
Yeah.
How's that gone?
Yeah, it's gone all right. Body's sore just because I haven't run like 7 weeks. So everything else hurts, but knee feels all right. It's a little bit tender afterwards, but seems to be manageable.
And Achilles?
Achilles, pretty good.
Oh,
Even if it was that melamine
Yeah.
fake wood, touch it.
Yeah. There's real wood.
Real wood down. So,
Just because you said it's fake.
Not risking it.
and have you got your bike back?
Yeah, bike back. Got my bike back
do you
on
feel
Friday.
complete?
No.
He's still looking for her.
Yeah. Nah, it's always... You just feel average for like 2-3 weeks after you have that much time off. And then like crashing as well, everything's still... My whole right side's just not moving smoothly yet. But
do you
it's
lose
getting
confidence when you crash like that?
there. Nah.
Or you just
not
straight
really.
back? It's fine. Like, don't
I
care.
feel like Tom wouldn't lose.
I think
Too much-
people
too much
do.
confidence.
People get real like
Yeah, I
stage,
would.
not stage fright, but like scared to get back on the bike. And then, funny enough, like first ride back, some crackhead drove me off the road. Like I was biking by myself in the bike lane, and he must have had a shit morning or something, and decided to take it out on a cyclist, just some dude wearing lycra, and like fully pulled up next to me and was just yelling abuse at me. And I had headphones on, and I was like, looked back, I was like, what have I done? Like, I was just in the bike lane by myself. There was another biker like 20 meters back. And then he just like swerved at me like in the bike lane, and I had to like go around him, and I just went and like threw my hands up in there like, what the fuck is your problem, mate? And then he fully came back and like cut me off, and my shoulder hit the back of his car, and like almost felt like crashed again. So I stopped like 20 meters up the road, and then 2 cars behind me like, are you all good, mate? I'm like, what's going on? Mate, I couldn't tell you. This dude was on something, and he was just out for revenge on something else. So yeah.
And I feel like from what I've heard from like Henry and other cyclists and stuff, particularly in the last year or so, I feel like there's been a real shift
so
in the
bad.
attitude towards cyclists. Like there's been quite a few incidents of people, cutting cyclists off with just not looking out for them, which is sad because it's such a nice city to do biking and otherwise. But yeah, just
You have to change your
stay
mentality
safe out there. Yeah.
to when you go for a ride, like to enjoyment, to literally being on edge, like everywhere you ride. Like I almost
Like questioning everyone's.
I had to think in my head like, yeah, these guys are gonna try hit me, so that you're aware enough to
be able to react.
if
Yeah.
it does happen, which is like a shit mentality to be in, but it's happened. I could name like 10 people that have been hit by cars in the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know what it is. I think also in winter it's worse because one, no one else is biking to work or stuff like that. Like everyone's in a car because it's freezing.
Yeah.
So they're just like, they're always in a rush because there's traffic. And something's going on. Like there's no one running to it. There's no one biking to it. Everyone's in a car, so they all get pissed off with sitting in traffic, and they're just all... Oh, not all, but like there's more people that are in a shitty mood about being late for work and stuff like that. And it's like, mate, look, just have some courtesy. We're out
Yeah.
here in a mill of lycra, freezing our ass off,
And it's
choosing
like,
to freeze our ass off.
and you just have to change your mentality. Like
Yeah.
those cyclists on the road, that's someone out of a car in front of you, if that makes like out of the queue of traffic. So I don't really get it. Like,
Well, yeah, it's like I wasn't even in. Sometimes I get it when there's no bike lane, and it's like there's cars parked on the side of the road, so you are somewhat like in the line of general traffic. But I was inside a bike lane, so
No reason,
there was
Yeah.
no reason.
He
for
just
it at
woke
all.
up that morning and
He
chose
woke
violence.
up and chose
violence.
violence. Yeah,
so
and
I hope he has a better day.
I hope he
Hope
doesn't.
you got his
I hope he crashed around the corner 10 meters up the
Or
road.
got pulled over.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. And it happens like weekly. It's a real shit common occurrence. And I will say this, like, if we could all adopt the European mindset, it would
Yeah.
be so much better. Because I've never felt safer on the road on a bike like when I was in Andorra and in all those European countries, they just respect the space, I think, a lot more.
Do you think? Because it's not like Christchurch, it's hard to get around in a car.
No.
Like
No.
the maximum, unless you got to drive from like South Shore to the airport, like it's 20 to 25 minutes
Yeah.
on a bad day.
Yeah.
It's not like we're at Auckland sitting for an hour and a half in a car. It's
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'd honestly, I'd love to see stats, but I feel like there's more people getting hit around Christchurch than there would be in like New York City. In New York City, it's like a clusterfuck.
But New York just worked because everyone was expecting it to be a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It was like it.
Yeah.
You could see it happening, and you stand on
Yeah.
the corner and watch, and you're like,
Yeah.
bikes go, cars go, people go, bikes go, car go, people. Like
It works. Yeah.
But it just works somehow, and you're like, oh, I don't know how that, but it functions.
Yeah.
And then on really busy corners, there's just cops.
Yeah.
And they just direct traffic. But
And I'm also not saying that all cyclists are great because there are some cyclists.
no, there's
that-
sometimes when you guys bike three abreast, it's like that's dumb.
Yeah, like holding up traffic, and
Yeah.
some people run red lights and all that carry on. But yeah,
That happens quite a lot, actually. Red light.
So we need a treaty of
peace.
peace of cycling with car drivers.
Yeah,
I want to come up with a smart term for that, and I can't because it's now been an hour and my brain is starting to shut down.
yeah.
Oska, how has your training week gone?
Better than the week before. I held all my guts together.
Yeah. No more gastro.
No more gastro.
It's gone.
Saturday, I worked out in the park, did some grass reps and spikes. What I have noticed is because of my carbon detox, I have all my power in my ankles back. The first 2 weeks sucked, and I felt like I had no pop at all. Could also be because I was a little bit overweight and hadn't done much training. And there's probably a combination of both of those things. But I feel like I haven't touched a carbon shoe or a stiff, like plated shoe, and now, like, since the marathon. So is it 6 weeks?
I love that carbon detox.
Yeah, carbon detox. And yeah, when I was in the park running on the grass, I was running like 305s and spikes, feeling like I had all my power back, kind of floating across the ground, which was nice, even if it was sludgy. And so I worked out with a couple of Motley's young fellas, and they were kind of cutting corners and shortening the reps and stuff, so we could kind of all stay together. And Sunday I did an hour 45 in the forest with Tom and Chris, triathlete Tom Somerville. He was doing 3 hours. He's getting ready for Ironman Cairns.
Yep.
Yeah. So we kind of kept him company for an hour and a half, and then he took off to run at race pace for the next hour and a half. Monday was refereeing with a friend on Monday, which was nice. And then yesterday I did hill reps. And I was talking to D Red about this morning. You know when you have a little break, and then the first couple of workouts, you're like, you feel quite good, but it's freshness, not fitness.
Yeah.
And then you get to maybe week 3 and fatigue has caught up with you. And then you have the workout where you realize actually you're not fit. You were just fresh and you're a sack of shit.
Oh.
And so I was like,
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, this sack of shit up Rapaki. And what I will say is I love the Mizuno Neo Zen. And we're going to see Mizuno after this.
Yes.
After we've recorded, we're going to see stuff next year. It is not a hill rep Rapaki shoe. Like,
Why not?
there's no grip.
Yeah, it's all like one piece.
It's
eh?
one piece.
Yeah.
It's super smooth. Although they have changed that for version 2, but I don't know how much I can talk about that. And the upper's knitted, so there's no structure in it. But
If you pull up, it just kind of.
yeah, it's just nothing. So I'm sliding and like off the side of the shoe. And then but I still managed to run all my hill reps in so about 4:30 per k or 4:15 per k. I started a wee pyramid actually, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3 minutes.
Did you get to the top?
I did, and then I did some 4x20-second sprints on the summit road.
Oh, perfect.
Was
it cold up the top?
No, it's beautiful. It's always nice up there.
Yeah, true.
After you get past the first gate, it's always really nice. So that's the first time I've managed to complete 3 workouts in the 7 days with the lower mileage kind of system that I'm on at the moment. So 3 workouts a week, 1 hill, 1 tempo on a long run, and then 1 workout on the grass and spikes.
Hill, tempo, long run.
Yeah. So I'm doing, and then just a cruisy long run. So it's kind of, and we wanted to do it for different stim and also kind of cross country specific. Because I like 2 bronzes and a silver, and then 2 fourths. So
you want that gold?
Well, then I was listening to the Gordon Walker podcast, and he was like, "If you say you want gold, you'll probably come 5th."
So if you say you want 5th, do you get gold?
No, if you say like. So he was saying when it was really interesting, and I'm paraphrasing.
Further down the line.
I'm paraphrasing what he was saying, so I might butcher this. But when he was working with Lisa before the Olympics, the quad, because they were trying to do something that hadn't been done, where win the single, the double, and the 4. And when they were sitting with the ladies for the 4, he said, if we go in with the mentality that we're going to medal, like we'll come 5th. If we go with the mentality that you want to come 1st, you'll probably come 3rd. If you go in with the mentality that you're going to dominate, you'll win. Like that was how they kind of, and I think I've got that right. I might not quite have it right, but you get the just. Now I'm not going to go in there and dominate because they're guys far faster than me. But I want to go in that mentality of like,
the dog.
I can be in there, and I've got old man smarts, and I designed the course.
The shortcuts.
Interesting because Quinny asked me last week. I sat with him as I was having my quarter life crisis, not quite mid, but called a 1/3 life crisis. And I was like, for the first time ever, the 3 parts of my life are not contributing to each other very well. And he was like, well, why do you want to keep running? And I couldn't give him an answer, and that was scary because I was like, I don't actually know, John. I haven't worked that out. Maybe I'm just doing it because I've always done it, and because people expect me to.
And change is scary.
Change is scary, especially going grey. Katie hit me up the other day.
I can't see the greys.
Oh, there's grey in my beard. Katie hit me the other day, and she said, you have to stop being afraid of getting old. And I thought, well, I don't know if I'm afraid of getting old. How does Kat feel about that? Because we're the same age.
Yeah, I'm embracing it.
You're embracing it?
Yep. Dye the greys.
Hide the age.
Oska comes in with like a dark black beard.
I did one time dye my hair jet black at high school.
Classic.
Nice.
Emo phase?
Yeah, I was playing with the hacky sack. I had a turtleneck and a blazer on. That's a part of my life I'd rather not I would rather not revisit. I dropped my phone. That's right. So yeah, that's going good. Train's going good. I feel this week's going to be a big week. We take Nelson over, I think, particularly for Anna, Kat, and I. Well, Tom's going to have to carry the shop a little bit, but it's just going to be a big week for us. It's just going to. I don't know if I feel stressed about what we have to do. We've done it before. It's nothing new. There's this. Anna's a little bit stressed because I think she doesn't think I'm stressed enough. But I have a lot of faith in the team, so I'm not stressed about that.
I'm feeling stressed. Yeah.
But I am pretty blasé about most things.
Yeah.
But I'm excited too.
You did tell me that I should be worried if you start feeling stressed.
Yeah. If I start feeling stressed, you know that stress levels are through the roof. And
that's not good.
And I'm either not communicating something because shit's hit the fan. and we really should be worried, or I'm bottling it up. But I think we'll be right. So we've got to get through that. And what else have we got? We're going to talk about a shoe.
Yeah.
It's the shoe that's barely there.
Because it's the ghost.
Busters.
Ghost 17 from Brooks. This is one shoe that I think Brooks might have got really well.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Like, I don't know. Me and Jesse were talking about it the other day, and I think the added foam and the newly shaped outsole is actually really nice.
So, I mean, we had our concerns about raising the stack height because traditionally we'd seen that Ghost as a sort of
low profile.
lower
Yeah.
profile, last man, woman shoe standing in that kind of lower stack, 25 mil kind of thing. Do you feel like it still feels grounded?
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, you go.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yes, they've increased the foam, but it doesn't. To me, it still doesn't feel like a max cushion shoe
Yep.
because it still bends in the front, and it's not. What's the stack in the front?
I'm just trying to find it for you. It is a 10 mil drop.
Yeah, but it's still not crazy. Like they've put more foam under your forefoot, but I think because initially Brooks's foam is quite firm, it doesn't really feel like a max cushion shoe. But they do soften up quite nicely, and I think it's good redeeming features is even though it's a neutral shoe, it still has these kind of cutouts that are enough to stabilize the back of the shoe. So your foot at the front moves quite naturally.
Yep.
But they've just filled in the medial side and cut out the lateral side, which I think works really well and is simple and just works.
So we kind of talk about that convexed and concaved.
Yeah.
So you kind of got that concaved
It's very
lateral
subtle,
side.
but also like the medial side is really flat, which is nice. So you feel like you have something under your foot, kind of at all points of the shoe, which is really nice. And then just even simple things like filling in the material on the back half of the shoe makes it feel more solid at the back. Whereas this is going to move a little bit more. But yeah, overall it's a comfortable shoe.
So it's 36.26.
Yeah, so 26 isn't like hugely padded in the front.
No, and this is because the glycerin is like 39 or 40 or something. This is a really good example of how two different compositions of foam can make a shoe feel completely different. Because I think we'd agree that glycerin, particularly in the front, feels like hard custard.
Yeah,
Like it's kind of squidgy.
it is spongy, yeah.
Which you kind of sink down into it, which is what it's designed for. That's the user experience, if we want to label the term on it. Where I do feel like this one is almost, would you say, like a firmer polystyrene?
Yeah.
Like you kind of, you hit it, but you don't sink into it.
Yeah.
So therefore it feels grounded and firm.
Yeah.
So even though someone might say, I don't want the extra stack height, I don't know if stack height's the only feature we should consider when we want to feel like we're connected to the ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense in my brain.
No, it does make sense. It's like when you talk about like, it's not static necessarily.
Correct.
Yeah.
How it performs dynamically in that closed chain mechanic of your foot being on it and then on the ground.
I think they've done a good job with the outsole as well. Like Brooks always normally have a pretty solid tread underneath, but
You could take that up for a packy.
yeah, no, you could. Then you could take it off road, and I think it'd be fine. But to me, it feels like the lugs are a bit deeper.
You could just be the way they've cut it too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess when you raise the stack height ever so slightly, you probably have to do a better job at the flex grooves and the positioning of the outsole rubber, so you don't end up with like a kind of a stiffer. Because it doesn't have a heap of toe spring.
No,
It's not like it's sort of real curled up either. So you got to have a transitional phase. So
but it's nice that you're spaced out on the lateral side, so when you land, it's going to feel a little bit softer, and then your big toe area is just going to feel like there's something there, which is nice. But yeah, I think it's great.
So you look
great update.
So you're looking at 10 mil pitch, the 36.26 mil front and back and front. For men's size US 9, it's 286 grams, which will make a woman's size US 7 about 248. It is, I'm still going to coin it in the stable neutral category. So it's not going to interfere too much with foot function, but it is going to absorb sort of a lateral landing, and then because of the width in the midfoot, if you do kind of torsionally twist the shoe there, it's going to resist that ever so slightly. It's got good forefoot flaring in the midsole, so you are going to get stability in through toe if you're not going to fall off the inside or the outside too much. And it also won't feel too stiff or clunky.
Yeah.
New double layered jacquard mesh. I mean, Brooks make
One of the better uppers.
one of the best fitting uppers, I think, which is probably why they.
They've also changed the shape of the heel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Tom, you felt like it was slightly lower.
Yeah. The way they've done it, like, I mean, lots of brands have done this kind of curving away from the Achilles, but what that does is it does kind of feel like there's a bulbous piece, and like the heel counter doesn't feel flat,
Gotcha.
like straight up and down. It feels like it is curved, which it is, but they did do it to kind of cup your calcaneal bone, but then also sometimes they can put pressure around the Achilles tendon. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how people feel in the shoe.
Yeah.
Like if this is just me speaking gibberish, but it does to me feel like it is a lot more secure around the lower part of your ankle rather than like.
So you don't get
up
so
and
much
down.
twist down low,
Yeah.
which I would say that's a problem in the 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people put it on and
Yeah.
the feeling that they have is that they're not supported as much with the previous version, sorry,
Yeah.
because it does sit a little bit lower. People, find that if they put it on, they're like,
Actually feeling
compared to
that
other
now.
shoes, it doesn't feel as locked in.
I think they've brought the heel counter like way further around.
Oh, so you get it almost like a
that.
wrap.
It's
Yeah.
like right there.
Which, so that's good and bad.
Yeah.
If someone lands quite back lateral corner and kind of leans out there, what we don't want is rubbing.
Yeah.
Like if you kind of put pressure on that, and then the same thing on the medial side. So you kind of want to make sure that when you're in there and you feel like you're locked in and down, you don't kind of move the back of the shoe.
Yeah.
But the width of the midfoot should stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
I think a nice update from them. We were a little bit worried about the extra stack height. I think they've executed it pretty well.
Yeah.
And now truly is a neutral version of an adrenaline.
Yeah.
So they've brought them up onto the same sort of the DNA Loft V3 foam is a solid, durable workhorse. You should get your mileage out of it. It's nothing fun,
Yeah.
but it will be kind of a good companion.
Yep.
Training companion. Price has gone to 300 New Zealand dollars,
Yeah.
and it will be B and D for women,
Yep.
and D and 2E widths for men, and a couple of different colours as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice update from Brooks.
I think so.
They have some good shoes coming too. So
Yeah, they actually do. Autumn grind. We're
Oh,
nearly
yeah.
done, man. We got 3 days.
3 days.
3 days left. Well, by the time this comes out tomorrow, there'll be 2 days
Yeah.
if I manage to get it edited before it has to go out.
Who's logging the most Ks?
Mate, there's been some people have run further than me.
I can guarantee they'll run further than me. So
So also, I'm surprised Anna hasn't ripped me out yet because I got auto corrected
oh yeah, on the story.
on the
Holy
Instagram
moly.
stories. So Paul, who designed our medals for this season, or he designed our medals for last season too, sent me a video of the medal, and it is unreal.
It looks fucking
Um,
awesome.
It does look fucking awesome, but I thought I typed holy moly, that's a medal, but I got auto corrected to Holly and Molly, which I've now decided that it's Tom and I's alter egos. So we can be Holly and Molly for our extracurricular activities. Anyway, so Paul O'Keefe, he has managed to, as of today, uploaded stuff 440 kilometers. So he will get through his 450, which I think means that next for spring grind in November, we might have to have a 400k category. What's that in miles? Like 250 miles?
Yeah.
More. Oh, a little less. And then Rebecca is still holding the fort down for the ladies. She's run 330k. She has uploaded everything in that she's done. So go those two. There's a couple of people pretty close. A couple of ladies breathing down. So Laura is only about 6k away from Rebecca. So we'll see how that shakes out. We need to get some of those trophies made. That's Tom's job this week. We might not spell consistent wrong. This consistent.
We're not doing consistent.
We're not doing consistent. There's been no consistency. You all suck.
No, the problem
No
is
one's doing
everyone's been too consistent that it's like hard to.
Mate, that's a Kiwi
Good problem to
kids
have.
Weet-Bix kids triathlon mentality. If one gets a medal, everyone is going to get a medal, even if you don't
You
do it.
stripped yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote myself out. And then what else we got? Global Running Day is the 4th of June.
Next Tuesday.
Wednesday,
Next Wednesday.
we will have a group run
There you go, Tom. It doesn't clash with quiz night.
here in Christchurch. I don't know if we're going to be organised for Nelson. For any Nelson listeners, it might just give us a little bit of time.
Wait, did you say the 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if you're in Christchurch and you would like to come running with the Run Club, we will be at the Armour Street Bridge entrance to North Hagley Park at 6 p.m.
And Tom and Pip will be there.
Tom and Pip will be there. I hadn't actually really talked to Tom about that, but Pip will
Maybe,
definitely-
and Sam.
and maybe Sam will be there. And we will do. What's that?
Yeah, Ben too.
Ben too. Yeah, there'll be 4 of us. We will do the 6K loop around both parks to celebrate Global Running Day. And it also sounds like we're going to have a claw machine in the shop for July. July? Yeah, July. Kat doesn't know about this.
Claw machine.
With New Balance.
No way.
So I had an idea, which was kind of half ripping off their idea at the guerrilla marketing they had at Auckland, but it was also my own idea, was to launch the new Elite V5. We fill a claw machine with a whole bunch of stuff, like maybe white, gold, and brown teddies or whatever, and each you spend $200 in the shop, you get 1 coin, 300's 2 coins, and 500's 3 coins. And you get, so that's like 1 game, 2 game, 3 games, and then you get prizes for the things you pull out. So if you have the gold teddy bear, might be a free pair of any fuel cell product you want.
Yeah.
The brown teddy might be like some New Balance paraphernalia or something, caps, towels, socks, whatever. And then the white, we might do front runner vouchers.
Fun.
And we'll just play that.
Sick.
Yeah, we'll play that. And
I'm gonna buy
so,
so much stuff.
Yes. Wait.
so I'm just working through that with the guys from New Balance at the moment to see how much sort of they'll cover and how much we'll cover.
I want one in Nelson, please.
Well, look,
Just for funsies.
just for fun.
Yeah.
We'll just
One
climb
of
up
the
on
one
that.
of the brand reps was like, "Oh, so it's just going to be your staff playing it all day." Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if there is anything else.
Have you guys ever won anything from a claw machine before?
Yes.
I have.
It's
Tell
very
us.
exciting.
Tell us,
Yeah.
Nana, what did you win?
I got like a teddy bear or something.
Oh, or
But it was-
something.
I can't remember. It was a few years ago, but that was definitely one of my higher points in my life.
Must have been you could remember it so vividly.
Yeah.
What did you win, Kat?
I won a giant cow. It was like this big.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Is that from like the AMP show?
Claw machine.
It was in
Or
Australia.
something.
Ah,
It was in one of the theme parks, I think.
in the Gold Coast or something.
Yeah.
Did you bring it back?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But my mum loved cows, so I gave it to her.
Oh, that's nice.
How old were you?
With a cat.
Like
28.
Yeah.
last year. I was like 10, I think. A little baby.
A little baby. So anyway, thanks to people that write in and give us positive and negative feedback. If you're still listening now, you're a bit of a rock star. I think we're nearly 80 minutes in.
Please direct hate messages to Oska
At the frontrunner.
at frontrunnercolombo.co.nz. New email.
I have a new email because my old one has 35,000 unreads.
It's 43,000.
43,000 unreads.
Delete.
That's a lot of fun, really. I mean, you do own a business, so fair enough.
Well, it's actually just 10 years of not unsubscribing to
Yeah, it's a
any
lot of
emails.
stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
I tried to organise through it, but then it was too big a job.
There's
Get
just
rid of
some things that can't be
Can't be tamed.
organised. All right, so Anna's racing this weekend.
Yep.
Tom and I try not to get hurt.
We're opening a new store.
We're opening a new store. We have indents to write for 4 brands, and we're seeing Mizuno
in 4 minutes.
in 34 minutes.
Oh, I thought it was
and
12.
I still need to pick my car up from the car wash. At the car wash. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And there's a claw machine
whoa,
coming.
whoa.
Okay.
See you next week. Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Nailed it.